Welcome back, student. So today we'll discuss why melting and boiling point is important. See, the melting point and boiling point of pure substance is constant. That means melting point and boiling point of pure substance is constant, meaning it is fixed. Suppose that I have taken one example of sodium, that time it will melt 97 degrees Celsius. So that time we will say that this is sodium. So this sample is sodium. So that means it can use as a identification purpose. So these are the example of common solid. See, sodium is 97 degrees Celsius, iron having 1535 degrees Celsius. So like your melting point, boiling point also is the same thing. So boiling point also used for identification purpose. So suppose that if you are using water, so how we understood this is water. So if it is water, then it will boil 100 degrees Celsius. So that means it will use for your identification purpose. Like your ethyl alcohol. So ethyl alcohol boiling point is 78.3 degrees Celsius. Methyl alcohol boiling point is 75 degrees Celsius almost. So from that point of view, from this slide, we can learn so why melting point and boiling point is important. That means melting point and boiling point is important. The reason is for identification purpose, because the melting point and boiling point of pure substance is constant. So now coming to the point, that is gas and vapor. So what are the basic difference, or you can say that the how differ gas from vapor. See, in case of gas, the temperature is equal or more than the boiling point. In case of vapor, the temperature is lower than the boiling point. Suppose I have taken one example of oxygen and nitrogen. So oxygen having the boiling point is minus 183 degrees Celsius, it is approximate value. In case of nitrogen, it is minus 195.8 degrees Celsius, it is very less. So in case of water, the boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. So suppose that oxygen is a gas, that means our atmosphere temperature is around 25 or more than 25 degrees Celsius. So that time we will see oxygen like a gas as well as the nitrogen. So when the temperature is equal or more than boiling point, equal or more than boiling point, that time it acts as a gas. Suppose that is beyond minus 183 degrees Celsius, or you can say that the more than minus 183 degrees Celsius, that time this will act as a gas. Suppose that water boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. Suppose that it is boiled 100 degrees Celsius and the temperature is more than 100 degrees Celsius, that time this water vapor act as a gaseous substance. So the temperature is lower than boiling point, it acts as a vapor. So these are the example: water vapor, alcohol vapor, etc. In case of methyl alcohol, in case of ethyl alcohol, temperature is around 80 degree. That means 78-75 degrees Celsius. When this temperature beyond this temperature means above 75 or above 78 degrees Celsius, that time it will act as a gas. Or if its temperature is less than boiling point, that means less than 78 or less than 75, that time it will act as a vapor. So these are the uses of change of state of matter. So water is changed into steam by heat energy to drive the turbines. By heating metals, the molten metals are poured into molds to make some design. To make some design, we need molten metals. By liquefying air, we can separate oxygen and nitrogen gases. Oxygen is used for artificial respiration. Nitrogen is used for making fertilizers. So every day we have using the room fresheners. So these room fresheners are based on the property of sublimation. So now we will coming to the point, that is law of conservation of mass. So this is very important of entire topic. So this is new thing. So what is basically your law of conservation of mass? Law of conservation of mass was discovered by Antony Laurent Lavoisier, or you can say the simply Lavoisier. So law of conservation mass said that, or states that, matter cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. For example, When methane burns, the mass of the methane and oxygen equals to the original mass of the carbon dioxide and water. So the mass of the product equals to the mass of the reactant. So this is the theory of law of conservation of mass. So next slide I will discuss these things. Thank you.